Does turmoil really have to be the enemy of peace? But isn't peace the absence of turmoil? No, no, it's not. How could turmoil actually feed peace? Well, it begins with mindfulness. Now, mindfulness is not concentration, despite despite the ravings of idiots. How does mindfulness work? Well, every time we inhale, whether we know it or not, we access the sympathetic nervous system ensconced within the thoracic region of our spinal cord. It has evolved not to support active concentration, but its opposite. What would that be? Simply perceiving, and to do so vulnerably, passively, viscerally, and randomly. Or to put it another way, with each inhalation, we could perceive the very turbulent play of mind. Now, let's put a finer point on it. As we are meditating, sometimes it can be useful to play with labels. So if you're experiencing emotional turmoil during your inhalation, you could silently and mentally recite the 3-syllable label emotion. And during your exhalation, you could silently and mentally recite the 3-syllable verb relaxing. You see, and we'll get to relaxing in a minute. Let's stick with emotion. So our job is not to repress what we're feeling. Our job is not to change what we're feeling. We are wired by evolution to when we encounter anything, external or internal, real or imagined, tangible or intangible, we have basic 5 or 6, maybe 7 reactions. And they can be thought of in the terms of questions. Hey, that thing over there, should I fuck it? Should I feed on it? Should I fight it? Should I flee from it? If I can't flee from it, should I faint before it? If I cannot faint, should I fawn over it and become its personal administrator? So that would be the 6 F's. So it's understandable if when we experience turmoil that we want to run away from it or that we want to hit it over the head with a hammer. Those are understandable impulses, but we're not here to indulge our impulses, but to make sure that we transcend them, that they are still present, but they do not control us. So despite the tendency to want to flee from turmoil, how can we profit from it spiritually? And this is weird, but by applying the proper label during our inhalation, instead of resisting the emotional turmoil, we kind of absorb it like white blood cells eating a bit of bacteria. And all of a sudden, that which seemed to be a destructive influence becomes a power pack, becomes a Duracell. It turns the cranks and the gears and the pulleys of the metaphoric enlightenment machine. It's the weirdest thing. But as if you were in turmoil and you're meditating on what's going on, emotion, relaxing, though you will feel a shift. And the shift isn't the departure of the turmoil, but a shifting in the role of the turmoil from adversary to asset. But of course, the question still remains, what do we do with that which we've just noticed? And that brings us to meditation. Every time we exhale, whether we know it or not, we automatically access our parasympathetic nervous system, ensconced within both the lower lumbar region of our spinal cord as well as the tippy top of the cervical region. It evolved to support both physical relaxation as well as mental release. And so here's the funny thing. We are already wired during every inhalation to notice. We're already wired during every exhalation to relax. All we got to do is step out of our own way and let the natural, inherent mechanisms of our autonomic nervous system save the day. And here's the cool payoff. The more we allow our body to relax in harmony with our exhalation, the more we mentally release what's going on. and we transform ourselves from a paramedic to a bystander. Or think of it this way. Let's pretend you and I are at a fancy theater to watch a play. Well, if we're really going to enjoy ourselves, we have to remember that neither you nor I are the playwright or director or thespian or producer. We're just there to enjoy the show. And when that happens, with meditation, something magical could happen. But wait, you might say, won't that make me passive? Won't that make me just a victim? It could seem that way if it wasn't for a third bit of meat in our brain that the big kids like to call the anterior cingulate gyrus. We are wired for empathy, and the highest love, according to the Dzogchen Lamas, is spontaneous and uncontrived. A fringe benefit of sitting in mindfulness and meditation, maybe once every 12 hours or so, is that our choices and our utterances and our deeds become like leaves floating upon the mighty river of love's centered spontaneity. And so we will find ourselves choosing and saying and doing the best thing in the best way at the best time. It's wild, but that's the key to the real magic that'll make your mouth water. So what I'd like to do is wrap this up by looking at the first of 21 first homage, the first of 21 homages. There we go. Homage to Tata, swift and fearless, with eyes like a flash of lightning. Things happen to us, sometimes with glacier slowness, sometimes with lightning quickness. Sometimes things change within our own body and mind, sometimes rapidly, sometimes slowly. These changes are not an indictment. We are wired to change. Our experience, we live in an ever-changing circumstances with ever-changing, populated with ever-changing bodies that enjoy ever-changing relationships and are witnessed by ever-changing minds. Change is the only constant. Forgive the cliche, but it is. And so the change we experience is not an indictment. For just as we can go from peace to turmoil, we can go from resistance to release just that quickly. Consider the second couplet, lotus born in an ocean of tears of Chenrezig, three worlds protector. We're allowed to be authentic. We're allowed to be honest with ourselves about what we feel, and honest with others, hopefully in a non-manipulative way. That does not make us weak. That does not make us victims. The key to greatness is vulnerability. The key to mindfulness is vulnerability. The key to strength is making peace with our own weakness and limitations. This path of perception, vulnerable, passive, visceral, and random, will make us the protector of all. Maybe not, maybe we won't dress like Superman and leap over tall buildings, but we'll be that person whose choices and utterances and deeds are like a balm to others, a source of soother, a source of insight and comfort to those fortunate enough to be in our lives. I look forward to chanting and meditating with you after approximately 40 seconds of housekeeping. This is Lama Jigme Gyatso of the Buddha Joy Meditation School, a guy who has expertise in each school of Buddhism, but who also has a remarkably limited wardrobe. Welcome to Meditate Like a Jedi, which is made possible due to the generosity of viewers just like you. Some people chant superstitiously to real or imagined entities as if they were celestial parents, hoping to get goodies in response. I just chant because it helps support meditation. And so let's chant right now. Let's play with a chant that is designed to exercise the neural pathways responsible for empathetic bodhicitta and enthusiastic refuge. There'll be two chants. The first recitation is going to be rather literal and set to a triplet chant. May I liberate all beings from the tyranny of hating, craving, and clinging, by relying on the Buddha's example, instructions, and students. Whoops, look at that. These three are so potent that they've earned the metaphoric nickname of the three wish-fulfilling jewels, kind of like Aladdin's lamp. And so we come to our second and final pre-meditation chant. Same subject matter as the previous one, only this is more concise and more figurative. And we're setting this recitation to a bookend chant, which is the go-to chant. So, together. May I liberate all beings by relying on the three jewels. May I liberate all beings by relying on the three jewels. May I liberate all beings by relying on the three jewels. Together as a team, let's meditate as profoundly as Ahsoka Tano on Lothal. As children, our primary or secondary caregiver most likely bolted training wheels to our first bicycle. Clunky, yeah, but they kept us from falling down. Similarly, this morning's first mindfulness meditation are going to be clunky, but useful. During our inhalation, we could silently and mentally recite, perceiving this very turbulent play of mind. And as we exhale, we could silently and mentally recite, relaxing into mind's non-graspable nature. And now, for the vast majority of this morning's practice, we could alternate between chanting the 21 homages to the 21 heroines, also known as the 21 Taras, or in Tibet as the 21 Drolmas, and then sitting in Dzogchen meditation, just flipping and flopping back and forth. There it is. Okay. Tally-ho. Almajutara, swift and fearless, with us like a flash of lightning. Lotus born in an ocean of tears of generous victory, was protector. Almost your daughter, swift and fearless, with eyes like a flash of lightning. Lord is born in an ocean of tears, of generous equals protect him. Almost your daughter, swift and fearless, with eyes like a flash of lightning. Lord is born in an ocean of tears, of generous equals protect him. Let's remove the first of two metaphoric training wheels and transition from 12-syllable exercises to 3-syllable exercises. This should seem familiar after the opening lesson. During our inhalation, we could silently and mentally recite "notice this," and during our exhalation, we could silently and mentally recite "relaxing." Sometimes it can feel like our circumstances or our body or our relationships or our minds are trying to beat us up. When that happens, playing with the appropriate label can be helpful, not as a way to repress what's going on, but as a way to harness it. Let us sidestep the newbie era of trying to find the perfect label in the perfect moment. Remember, we were born screaming naked and covered in filth. Life is messy, and so is meditation. Please give yourself permission to have a shallow learning curve. Homage to you whose face is like when autumn is gathered, and blazes with the dazzling light of 1,000 constellations. Homage to you whose face is like 100 autumns gathered, and blazes with the dazzling light of 1,000 constellations. Homage to you whose face is like 100 autumns gathered, and blazes with the dazzling light of 1,000 constellations. Now let's remove the second of two metaphoric training wheels and transition from 3-syllable exercises to 1-syllable exercises, something I like to call cruising altitude. During each inhalation, we could silently and mentally recite the demonstrative pronoun "this," and during each exhalation, we could silently and mentally recite the monosyllabic verb "ease," which functions as a synonym of relax. When transitioning from 8 3-syllable labels to their 1-syllable paradigm, poetic license is required. So when we experience physical sensations, we could use the label form. When we experience their emotional counterparts, we could use the label feel. When experiencing a recollection, we could silently and mentally recite the preposition then. And when we find ourselves fantasizing, we could silently and mentally recite the verb dream. Hommage to you, born from a blue lotus, hand adorned with a lotus flower. Essence of giving, non-violence, patience, in mindfulness and wisdom. Homage to you, born from a blue lotus, hand adorned with a lotus flower. Essence of giving, non-violence, patience, in mindfulness and wisdom. Homage to you, born from a blue lotus, hand adorned with a lotus flower. Essence of giving, non-violence, patience, zeal, mindfulness, and wisdom. It's wrong button. I guess not. Let's keep going. Homage to you who crown all Buddhas as actions of Jews without limit. Attain to every perfection, all knew the Bodhisattva's reline. Homage to you who crown all Buddhas whose actions so Jews without limit. Attain to every perfection, all knew the Bodhisattva's reline. Homage to you who crown all Buddhas whose actions subdues without limit. Attain to every perfection, O you the Bodhisattva's rely. Homage to you who's to Tara and who fill the realms that desire for man's space. You crush seven worlds beneath your feet and have power to call all forces. Homage to you who's to Tara and who fill the realms of desire for man's space. You crush seven worlds beneath your feet and have power to call all forces. Of course, that reminds me of a song by Rage Against the Machine. Homage to you who's to Tara and who fill the realms of desire for man's space. You crush seven worlds beneath your feet and have power to call all forces. Homage to you adored by Indra, Agni, Brahma, Vayu, and Ishvara. Praise and sung by hosts of spirits, zombies, entities, and yakshas. Homage to you adored by Indra, Agni, Brahma, Vayu, and Ishvara. Praised and sung by hosts of spirits, zombies, entities, and yakshas. Homage to you adored by Indra, Agni, Brahma, Vayu, and Ishvara. Praised and sung by hosts of spirits, zombies, entities, and yakshas. Homage to you who stray and may destroy external wills of magic. Right leg drawn in and left extended, you blaze within a raging fire. Homage to you whose three and page destroy external wheels of magic. Right leg drawn in and left extended, you blaze within a raging fire. Homage to you whose three invade destroy external wheels of magic. Rightly drawn in and left extended, you blaze within a raging fire. Homage to you whose duty destroys the great face of mighty demons. With a wrathful frown on your lotus face, you slay all foes without exemption. Homage to you whose duty destroys the great fears of mighty demons. With a wrathful frown on your lotus face, you slay all foes without exception. Homage to you whose duty destroys the great fears of mighty demons. With a wrathful frown on your lotus face, you slay all foes without exception. Homage to you beautifully adorned by the three jewels gesture at your heart. Your wheel shines in all directions with a whirling mass of light. Homage to you beautifully adorned by the three jewels gesture at your heart. Your wheel shines in all directions with a whirling mass of light. Homage to you beautifully adorned by the three jewels gesture at your heart. Your wheel shines your wheel shines in all directions with a whirling mass of light. Homage to you, radiant and joyful, whose crown amidst the garland of light. To you bow the laughter of Tutara, conquer demons and lords of the world. Homage to you, radiant and joyful, whose crown amidst the garland of light. To you bow the laughter of Tutara, conquer demons and lords of the world. Homage to you, radiant and joyful, whose crown amidst a garland of light. You by the laughter of Tutara, conquer demons and lords of the world. Homage to you with power to invoke the assembly of local protectors. With your fierce round and vibrating, whom you bring freedom from all poverty. Homage to you with power to invoke the assembly of local protectors. With your fierce round and vibrating, whom you bring freedom from all poverty. Homage to you with power to invoke the assembly of local protectors. With your fist round and vibrating, whom you bring freedom from all poverty. Homage to you with power to invoke. Oopsie. Homage to you with crescent moon crown, all your adorns dazzling bright. From your hair, Lord, all made harbor shines eternal with great beams of light. Homage to you with crescent moon adorning your... Let's try this again. Homage to you with crescent moon crown, all your adornments dazzling bright. From your hair, Lord, all made harbor shines eternal with great beams of light. Homage to you with crescent moon crown, all your adornments dazzling bright. From your hair, Lord, all meet harbor shines eternal with great beams of light. Homage to you who dwell in a blazing wraith like the fire at the end of this age. Your right leg outstretched and left rod in joy surrounds you who defeat hosts of foes. Your right leg outstretched and left rod in joy. Let's try this again. Homage to you who dwell in a blazing wreath like the fire at the end of this age. Your right leg outstretched and left rod in joy surrounds you who defeat hosts of foes. Homage to you who dwell in a blazing wreath like the fire at the end of this age. Your right leg outstretched and left rod in joy surrounds you who defeat hosts of foes. Homage to you whose wisdom's the earth and response crash to the ground by your sign. With her wrathful glance and the suitable whom you subdue all in the seven stages. Homage to you whose wisdom's the earth and response crash to the ground by your sign. With a wrathful glance and the suitable whom you just subdue all in the seven stages. Homage to you whose foot stumps the ground and his palm strikes. Let's try this again. Homage to you whose foot stumps the earth and his palm strikes the ground by your sign. With a wrathful glance and the suitable whom you subdue all in the seven stages. Homage to the blissful virtuous peaceful one object of practice nirvana's peace. Perfectly endowed with Soa and no more overcoming all the great evils. Homage to the blissful virtuous peaceful one object of practice nirvana's peace. Perfectly endowed with Soa and no more overcoming all the great evils. Homage to the blissful, virtuous, peaceful one, object of practice, nirvana's peace. Perfectly endowed with soul and overcoming all the great evils. Remember, if at any point during the remainder of this morning's live stream you have a specific question about Buddhist meditation, Buddhist philosophy, or how to apply them, simply type your question in great detail in the chat window. Homage to you with joyous retinue, you suitably all enemies' forms. The ten subtle mantra tones your heart and your knowledge whom gives liberation. Homage to you with joyous retinue, you subdue fully all enemies' forms. The ten subtle mantra tones your heart and your knowledge whom gives liberation. Homage to you with joyous retinue, you subdue fully all enemies' forms. The ten syllable mantra adorns your heart and your knowledge whom gives liberation. Homage to with en pink feet, whose essence is the seed salab. You cause Mary Mandara Vinjan, all three rules to tremble and shake. Homage to with some pink feet, whose essence is the seed salab. You cause Muru, Mandara, and Vinjan, all three rules to tremble and shake. Homage to with stomping feet, whose essence is the seed syllable. You cause Muru, Mandara, and Vinjan, all the three rules to tremble and shake. Homage you hold in your hand a moon like a celestial lake. Sing Tata twice on the syllable, pay you dispel all poisons without exception. Homage you who hold in your hand a moon like a celestial lake. Sing Tata twice on the syllable, pay you dispel all poisons without exception. Homage you who hold in your hand a moon like a celestial lake. Sing Tata twice on the syllable, pay you dispel all poisons without exception. Homage you on whom the kings of gods, the gods themselves and all spirits rely. Your armor radiates joy to all you, soothe conflicts and nightmares as well. Homage you on whom the kings of gods, the gods themselves and all spirits rely. Your armor radiates joy to all you, soothe conflicts and nightmares as well. Homage you on whom the kings of gods, the gods themselves and all spirits rely. Your armor radiates joy to all you, soothe conflicts and nightmares as well. Homage you whose eyes like the sun and moon radiate with pure brilliant light. Uttering Hada twice and two Dada dispels extreme fearsome plagues. Homage you whose eyes like the sun and moon radiate with pure brilliant light. Uttering Hada twice and two Dada dispels extreme fearsome plagues. Homage you whose eyes like the sun and moon radiate pure brilliant light. Uttering Hada twice and two Dada dispels extreme fearsome plagues. O Master, you adorn with three natures perfectly, endowed with peaceful strength. You destroy demons, zombies, and yakshas, O Ture, most exalted and sublime. O Master, you adorn with three natures perfectly, endowed with peaceful strength. You destroy demons, zombies, and yakshas, O Ture, most exalted and sublime. O Master, you adorn with three natures perfectly, endowed with peaceful strength. You destroy demons, zombies, and yakshas, O Ture, most exalted and sublime. Let's seal this morning's practice with a bit of the old chanting, beginning with kind ethics and concluding with the four immeasurables. May all beings practice have kind communication, conduct, and calmness, spontaneous and uncontrived. May all beings practice have kind communication, conduct, and calmness, spontaneous and uncontrived. May all beings practice have kind communication, conduct, and calmness, spontaneous and uncontrived. May everyone be free from misery, may everyone be happy, may no one be separated from the happiness. May everyone have balance from the tyranny of hating, craving, and clinging freed. May everyone be free from misery, may everyone be happy. May no one be separated from the happiness. May everyone have balance from the tyranny of hating, craving, and clinging freed. May everyone be free from misery, may everyone be happy. May no one be separated from the happiness. May everyone have balance from the tyranny of hating, craving, and clinging freed. If you feel that I have earned it, you could give this live stream a thumbs up. You could even help support this channel. In approximately 11 hours, I would very much like to return to lead today's evening meditation class and group practice. And if you are as geeky as me, this is the way.